All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wait a couple minutes while we see if anybody else. It looks like we still have people clicking on. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good. Very good.
Very good.
Great.
Alegria, it looks like you're out for a walk. Beautiful sunny day.
I'm in Toronto.
Oh,
That's right.
So
nice day.
I'm not sure I can tune into the whole thing, but at least I'll get started.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Great. Look forward to it.
All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I will keep admitting people as they come on. I'd like to welcome today this is the PWNCR, the Professional Women's Network of Costa Rica September event, and we have some wonderful members of Democrats Abroad joining us as well. I am looking forward to having Muni Figueres Facio share with us about her story today. You may know a little, you may have heard of her grandmother and grandfather, Don Pepe and Henrietta Boggs. So we are so pleased to have her with us. She has an amazing trajectory of adventure and business acumen, and I'm looking forward to hearing everything that she has done to have a successful business and other tidbits from her whole journey. So welcome, Muni. I think I can make you the, let's see, can I make you the person who's seen by everybody? I believe so.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm honored to be here. I'm humble also to have all this amazing, wonderful, empowered women listening to me. It's a little bit overwhelming, but I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to learn and to share. So just thank you. I'm very excited to be part of this amazing group of power and business, or just to share my knowledge. I'm happy just to be here and sharing the energy. I miss the hugs, though. I would love to be in Timbo having some nice juice and a lot of good energy. But well, this will do. At least we don't have to have a mask. I'm happy. Should I start or should we wait?
I think that probably we should just go ahead. We don't want to wait a long time because you have a lot of wonderful things to share.
Okay. Let me share the presentation. You tell me when I start.
No, I'm muted. I think it's probably good for you to go ahead and start. Does everybody see Muni as the main screen? I guess that's what I wanted to be sure of.
No.
Okay, so let's see if we can make.
We did for a minute and then it switched back to you.
Okay, and
excuse me, perhaps I can make a suggestion. If everybody finds 3 dots on the image of Muni, there are 2 options. One of them says, well, in Spanish it says anclaje. I don't know in English, but then that will put Muni as the main image, and the rest will remain small, even if you make a sound or whatever. I don't know if I explain myself well. Just look at her image, click, not click, but touch on the right, top right side, and there you will find 3 dots. And one of them, that means everybody has to do it. Not exactly
Oh.
Muni, but each
Oh,
person
okay.
has to do it in order to have you as the main image.
In English, it says pin.
It's pinned
There
in.
you go.
Pin.
That's the word.
Okay.
Yeah.
But on the recording, I also want her to be the main event. So I wonder if there's something. Sorry, I
Can
know
you
how to
make her
click.
the host of the meeting?
That would probably work. Thank
Can
you.
Yeah,
I'm glad we're among friends. Sorry.
it's okay.
So I'll do the 3 dots. Make host. There you go. All right, you're now the host, but I'm afraid that will mean that anybody who comes
Oh, I have
in,
to, yeah, then I will have to accept people.
and I don't want you to have to do that. So why don't you change it back to me? Okay.
How do I do that?
Go, oh gosh, the 3 dots on my name. My apologies. Okay.
As long as she's talking, she's on the
Yeah.
screen. If
Oh,
everyone
okay.
else mutes, then there's no extra noise.
Right. And we want to have that be our goal. So I'm going to go on mute, and Muni will share her presentation.
But I want to make it, if somebody comes, I won't be able to allow them because
You'll be talking. Exactly.
I'm
So,
talking, I can't see. Let's wait to see how do I.
okay, I'm going to
so I can
reclaim host.
give
I
you the
found
power.
that. I found that
Return you the
button.
power. Let me return the power to you.
I was
Look
able to
for you.
reclaim host. So I
Oh,
am
but
now the
don't.
host. So
Okay.
go ahead. I'm going to have everybody mute. And everybody pin Muni, and then her presentation will also be what everybody sees. Take it away, Muni. Thank you.
Well, good morning to everybody. My name is Muni Figueres, and I'm going to share you a bit of my story. This is my point of view, and it's going to be my experience through my history. So let me tell you a little bit. I am the first granddaughter of Pepe Figueres and Henrietta Boggs, 2 people that I hope you know. If not, I will tell you a little bit of them, and it's going to be amazing. I'm going to tell you the path to success, how Sarah says it is. Like, I just rediscovered it was a success story until I did this, but I'm going to share it with you. I want to share how I made Antojitos a business-centered restaurant, and talk about the tough choices about pandemic, and well, what the future comes to me. And here it goes. So this is going to be the history how I see. Everybody knows Don Pepe, and he was an amazing man. I don't want to disrespect his history, but I love to talk about my grandma. So I have to tell you a little bit of him. He was the person who did Costa Rica we know today. He was smart, intelligent, charming, visionary, but most of all, he listened to my grandmother. And most of the changes we have today and all the rights and everything we did as a society, it was complemented and understand by his power of listening to my grandmother, which I think was the person who made him see the amazing opportunities he had, because he had an idea of what a society was to be, and I think she opened the horizon for his, so he could contemplate the possibilities of having a better society. And she was the magic behind the beauty he did for Costa Rica. So, like, this is one of the phrases that I love of Don Pepe. He always said that la única manera de hacer las cosas es haciéndolas. So he was like that. That was his mantra. If he wanted something, he would go for it. He wanted a society with a better democracy, so he did a revolution. And he wanted my grandmother up to his ear and made him understand that a society that was just needed to have females and blacks and everybody in the society, be part of the society. So he went ahead and abolished the army, and he gave the women's the right to vote and the blacks the right to vote. So, and then a lot of other things, but I'm sure everybody knows what it is. I'm going to focus on my grandmother, if it's okay with you. A lot of things have been said about my grandfather. He even has a bill in the, you pay 10,000 colones with his face in it. And I don't want to be disrespect his legacy. I just want to focus on my grandmother. So here she is, Doña Henry, and we call it in the family Grima. She's a young Southern lady with a huge spirit, adventurous. She was a human rights fighter or believer, but I think she was a guerrera for human rights. And she was an amazing person. She was always inspiring people, always being surrounded by people. I honestly think she also was a romantic lady, and she fell in love with my grandfather. And I think she saw in him the possibility of changing a society. She was inspiring all the time, never letting overshadow people. Like, she would always share with her all her experience, and we would share with her. She was always learning and always sharing. It was an amazing experience when we were with her. Listening to her was an amazing, but she was always taking from whoever was with her and sharing her experience and taking from their experience, never making people belittle, or I never felt like that. I think she was always whispering to my grandfather to see how he had this idea of this society, and she made him understand that a society was bigger than his small views from the male perspective. She made it happen, that he could see the broader or horizon of possibilities of having a society that was a whole society with all human beings involved. And I think that was the magic that happened and made him the bigger person he is today, right? Well, she was in love with Obama. Who wasn't in love with Obama? We all were. And he said he would secretly go to the White House, try to have a kiss, but he never touched her. He said that, it was sad, She was always sharing. She even has a tech talk. And it was amazing going to see her when she was talking. And she was sharing with all these young people. And she was so energetic, sharing and having all this knowledge that she can share. I don't know, I think sharing is the best thing. How can I describe her? She was always sharing and shaping minds. And we were part of those minds that were shaped. One of the things that she would say a lot when I was with her in the documentary, she said, you don't make things happen, you shape them. And I think, honestly, with a little bit of humility and humbleness, very little, to be honest here, I think she shaped Costa Rica so she could become comfortable here. And so we can all, as human beings, live and be here comfortable. So she shaped Costa Rica. So this will be a wonderful place to live for all of us as a society. And I'm super grateful for her. She also always said, men don't let go of power freely. You have to take it. But we have to do it. So it's enough of my grandmother. I'm super proud of her, and I would talk, but I was told today that this is, I have to talk about myself. I'm a little humble, I'm shy, so I'm gonna keep bragging about myself a little, and my grandma will be very proud that I do this, because she was very proud of all of us as a kid. So here I go. Oh, my Queenie, I love this picture. I want to share. She was, I think, 94. I can't remember exactly, but she had a doctor's degree. And we went to see her, and it was amazing to see her. She was so amazing just to receive that doctor there. And she was so proud of being with all the young people, all the people sharing their dreams and fulfilling their dreams. She was there with them, sharing that moment. It was amazing. So here I go. Up. Let me show you something before. Ay. Wait, I'm gonna go behind back. How do I return? Who knows? Ah, here. This is me. This is something I'm very proud of. I was a bit overweight. I think I was always hiding and a lot of fears, and food and obesity helped me hide my fear. And then somehow, when I was 40, I discovered that I was okay with myself and I didn't have to hide anymore. I did have a little help of surgery, so I went and did a bypass. And the result is I have a lot of more opportunities now and adventures opportunities. Before I didn't have anything to stop me, but now I even can go around the world and I'm happy with it. It's easy. So I am a romantic dreamer. I fell in love with my husband when I met him one day, married him 3 days later up in Chile, and we've been there every time we can. This is my husband, Marco, an amazing man. He had less opportunities than I did, but we both grew into the relationship we have today. I believe in justice, and I don't know if this is the correct word, equity or not equity, but equity. Like, I think
think
humans
both
need to have,
equality.
what is it?
I think both equity and equality. Mhm.
It's, well, I think equity, I thought equity was more money related, but I think that humans need, each individual person needs to be giving their needs in order so we all have the same opportunities. And I think this is the beauty of humanity, that we can understand what we need and what to get in order so we all have the same opportunities to grow and be successful. I vote, I cry every single time I vote because I know in my veins in here, I share the blood of two people who made this happen. I, as a female, can vote today, have the opportunities I have today because my grandmother made it happen. I am so proud of that every single time I vote, I cry. I cry because I know she made this happen for all of us. And I'm super proud and I'm not humble about it. And I love to say it and all the time I say it. I am building my home with my own hands. This is my house. We are doing it. It's only 33% of the house can be made with new materials. Everything else has to be done by recycle, refurbish, whatever. And it has to be, only my husband and I work in the house, so it's been taking us 7 years to build the house. Slowly, it's a project of life, and I hope it's going to end soon, but it's far, far from ending. I'm an adventurer of heart, and I'm a super adventurer. I walked one day, I said, I've never seen a penguin. So I'm going to go to Ushuaia, and I walked for 1 year, all Latin America, to go and see a penguin in South America. I've been to Everest twice, one through Nepal and one through Tibet. I bike across USA. It took me 3 months to cross all the United States. I shaved my head 3 times. One when I was in Georgetown to donate my hair for a lady who wanted a wig. The second time I did it didn't have to shower during my trip and my bike trip, so I didn't have to shower, so I donated my hair again. And the third time, Marco's niece had breast cancer. She was very frustrated about the chemotherapy and losing her hair. So every time she would go to chemo, I would go with her and shave my head. So she would we would both be bald through the whole process of her chemotherapy. And I think it was good for her because she would have had somebody there with her that had no hair too. So I did that. I took all my hair from my head, my eyebrows, everything. So we could all be together doing the same thing. I've been around the world a lot, and I guess a lot of people are doing that. The only country I don't know is, well, several, but Russia and Australia and New Zealand are in my bucket list. My education, I went to a private high school, American. I did go to a public high school. So there I learned, it was a very small high school in Cartago, and I learned to appreciate. Not everybody had the same opportunities. Had to be humble and live the experience of understanding people around us who have other realities, and we need to see how we make it a better society. It's not my fault, but we all should help each other so we have a better society where we all can live and be proud of. I mean, I studied industrial engineering, also environmental science and cancer biology. I did a PhD in cancer biology, which I did not finish. It was a sad process. It's hard, and I'm an engineer, and this was a PhD for medical students, which I wasn't. So it was hard, but it was a challenge, and I did it. But I didn't finish, to be honest. I have one more published to do, and I didn't do it. I've been working. I worked with Jose Maria in the first campaign, and I'm working now with him. Truly believe. I will talk about politics. I work with Rebecca Grisman, which I admire immensely. She's an amazing woman, and she's done amazing things. I work in the poorest communities of this country. I went to live there so I can understand what were the real needs. So I would stay with each community so I understand the real needs. The communities to Rebecca, so she could decide what was best to be done and how do we get the money to fix it. I worked in a program in 96 about gender equality. I think it was the beginning of the new law about de género. I'm not absolutely sure. It's been changing and it's been modifying over the years, but we were the first ones working on it. I work in the first law to import electric vehicles in Costa Rica on a true universal sustainability. This is my very, very proud of this program. I work in this program since the beginning. It was called Ciudadano de Oro, and we would to give a lot of senior citizens the opportunity to have, so they could go use the bus without paying, have discounts in restaurants. Well, it was a simple program at the beginning. I think La Caja has converted it into something bigger and more robust, and I'm happy that I was part of the beginning of this program. I work in Costa Rica Foundation for Sustainable Development. I was in charge of importing or understanding electric vehicles and alternative fuel vehicles to import to Costa Rica. We were 20 years ahead of our time, but it was a beginning, and I was happy to be part of it. We did a Rally del Tropico in 2000, and we brought 87 vehicles, electric vehicles here, and it was well, the first one. So it was really hard to get them, and we have almost 2 million people involved in this project because we would go from the Atlantic to the Pacific, and we would go to each school, sharing. The schools will share their community with the participants, and the participants will share with the community what was electric vehicles, and it was a very interesting cultural exchange, and it was amazing. We even had Discovery Channel come with us for the whole 15 days, and it was really nice. After this, my husband and I, we did a company that we did furniture from fallen trees. We tried to not waste the carbon section that the trees had by letting them rot in the forest. So we made trees, furniture from trees that were falling. Then I went to United States, and I worked as an assistant for the biology department, and I work in Lombardi Cancer Center in Georgetown, finance. So I came to Costa Rica. I'm still bragging so much about myself, but I love it. So let's continue. So I came to Costa Rica, and I want to say I'm a little gender biased, and I think sometimes it's okay. I think the society is not balanced, and it's more favorable for males. I said, you know what? If I'm going to be a business person, I want to be gender biased, and it's okay. Many men are gender biased, and they're okay with that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Antojitos. Antojitos was built opened in 1972 by 4 partners. In the 80s, they separated. My uncle and my father kept half of it, and the other business associate kept the other half. I manage Antojitos, the one in San Pedro. This is the one right here. This is the one this is the same one, right? when I got it, this is the one I was working. I managed it 8 years. The beginning, I did not know a thing about managing a restaurant. I have a lot of common sense, but did not know how to do it. So I went and worked in the kitchen. Actually, I work in every single area of the restaurant for 2 weeks. And I would do the job in every to learn how to do it. So I did dishwashing, I did waitering, I did bartending, I did the register. I not the cooking because I'm not really good at it, but I did when I was always a helper in the kitchen. I did the cleaning of the bathroom, the cleaning of the floor. I did everything because in order to understand the business, I need to understand what I was doing. So the first thing I learned is that being an engineer, I said I need to understand this business. So I did a diagnosis of the restaurant. It was failing very, very quickly, very in a bad shape. And it was a challenge. The first thing I want to say was the food was always delicious. We just needed to improve it a little bit. But I've been eating in the restaurant since I was 11. So I never thought the food was bad. I just thought that it needed improvement. So I had a fun challenge there. Everything was stuck in the past, right? And everything was done in old style, but it was done without the future in mind. So everything was unkept and outdated. And, so I said, you know what, if I'm going to be part of this, I have to be.
Muni, you're cutting out a little bit. Could you repeat?
You can hear me?
Now it's great.
Okay. So I said I wanted to serve food that I was proud of and that I would be super happy to eat myself. No, I don't want to poison myself. I wanted to be proud of it. So we changed a lot of things. So everything. My father and my uncle said, you could do whatever you want as long as you don't affect the profit. And I said, okay, that's a challenge. So let me start. So I start by transforming the business, having in mind that triple bottom, right? We needed to make profit, but we also had to understand and be respectful for our environment and social aspects of the restaurant. So the changes, especially in the sustainability area. So we started by installing solar panels, changing all the light bulbs. This is in 2013, but at the beginning, this was really difficult. Like we did all the LED lighting, and it was so difficult to find in Costa Rica, like inexpensive lighting. Now you can buy them even in Pequeño Mundo, but it was an amazing challenge. We had solar panels, but the beauty of this first step was that we start paying, instead of 1,300,000 colones of electricity, we went down to pay 280,000 colones. So I had 1 million colones there to spend in sustainability because it was in the presupuesto. So I had to invest in things. So the first 3 months I saved the 1 month until I could buy an electric bike, and I used to deliver all the food in an electric bike. We changed this horrible thing that now in Costa Rica there's a law that prohibits it. But at the beginning, everybody used those styrofoam packages, but for us it was so difficult to find. And we finally found a lady who imports. In that time, was the only person. All the paper that we use in the restaurant, toilet paper, cleaning paper, and servilletas, napkins, were all from certified forests. were the first country, first restaurant to prohibit the use of straw. It was horrible. People were so mad because they would say, "How you can't have a straw? How can you not have a straw?" People would walk out of the restaurant. Now it's common view and everybody's okay with it. But at the time, they thought I was, I don't know, a terrorist. I even have a funny experience. When I had a group of people who, there were 7 and they were at the restaurant and they all wanted a straw. And at the same time, there was a newscast that was doing an interview about, it was a UN newscast, and they were taping and interviewing me. And I said, you know what? And people like this group of here and this table, all of the terrorists of the environment want to use a straw, and they went and bought a straw to drink in my restaurant. And I was like, this is so ridiculous. I clean the glasses with the same soap, and the same person that washes the glasses is the same person who washes the forks and knives. What is it that the whole say because you're afraid that the glass is dirty, but the forks and the knives are washed with the same person and soap than the glasses. So what's the big deal? At the beginning, it was not easy, but soon a lot of people got involved, and now nobody uses straws. We clean in our restaurant. We didn't have any chemicals whatsoever. Everything was bought from at the beginning from Florex, which I love Florex, but it became very big. And one of the things I do is I only buy products. Was only buy products from small companies. So I had to switch because Florex was very big. I love them, but I found the small one and changed to them. Chicken and eggs are from free range, gluten-free friendly. We were not certified gluten-free in the restaurant because now we had tortillas and we had flour around and everything, but we were friendly. So we had 2 fryers, one for fry everything that it was with any kind of gluten, and then there's another fryer for everything that it was gluten-free. So people would eat freely in the restaurant, but it was not certified. We had a huge recycling program, and we recycle everything. We make biodiesel with our oil, or burnt oil. We compost with our organic waste. We make our own condiments. We even have a prize from Holland of 0 waste because we used everything in the restaurant. We went from throwing 29 bags of garbage a day to 9. Everything else was recycled or reused in a way. So it was an amazing. All our products that we bought were organic, or they were sustainable practices. I personally went to each farm to verify how they were working with the environment, how we were taking care of the water and the environment, and I would also check their how did they take care of the workers. I'll tell you that later. So, and nobody realized in Antojitos, but they use 30% less salt. I took salt from everything, and so we were recommended by the Association of Cardiologos because our food was less salt. We were the first restaurant to install a electric vehicle charger, so people would come all over the country to charge in a restaurant, and they would get a 50. We made it very, very, very sustainable. We won a lot of prizes. We won. Industrias has a very, very strict program for quality and practices, and we won first time in 2014. And then we won Bandera 3 years in a row. We did actually more of it. We won Kakori 2016, the sustainability restaurant. This is one of my proudest programs. It's so hard to be part of the Ruta a la Excelencia from the Chambers of Industry. And we got there competing by huge, and we got level, not first place, but level. We were part of the No Straw Challenge in 2017, and we were very proud of being no plastic from Marviva. They come and they do this huge audit, and they were able to say that we have only the minimum plastic that we can use because of the Ministerio de Salud that force you to have plastic in packaging. So we're proud of this one too. But I also made it a female base or a woman center company. I had problems with the Ministerio de Trabajo because I was accused of discrimination because I would not hire or buy anything from anything that it was not a woman or a woman-based. I would not hire anybody who's not female. Or it could be a female or male that was openly gay. But I would never hire first hire a man, never. So if I would get a curriculum and it was a male, I would use it as a recycle. And people knew it, and it was okay. A lot of other companies just hire men. I said, you know what? If they can hire men, why can't I hire a female? So, and I learned this beautiful term that is called positive discrimination. No, well, yeah, positive discrimination. It says positive affirmation, afirmación positiva. How do you say that in English? Well, it's okay. And
I think
I
positive
learned that, and
discrimination.
then well, it's not discrimination. I don't know. But well, I used to say I do that, and it was okay. I always say, you know what? I am biased, and that's okay.
Pilar shared affirmative action. She's right.
And that's a lot of businesses are biased. Learn that, and then I could use it in a lawyer from Namo helped me with that and said, you know, I'm doing affirmative action. That's okay. So we build our working community was more like a family. So we all help each other. And we established a very interesting program. We would create a place, an easy way to them helping other co-workers to take care of their kids, to take care of their parents, to grandparents. We would the first thing when I got there saw that they were very, very, very undead, and it was so complicated. Everybody was so stressed because they had so much debt. And I said, you know what? So I sat with each person and said, okay, how do we do this? How do we make it happen? So I made the Asociación Solidarista. They had Asociación Solidarista, but it was badly managed, and we made it stronger. We helped them clean their finance. We clean every single worker in Antojitos had the finance clean, and we help them with small loans that they will pay out. I don't believe in charity. I believe in giving people the opportunity to take care of themselves. And so we will work with them, small credits that they could pay. And the way we did it, so it would have, how do I say, it was easy for them. We would have, I would pay for the first semester of the first week of food for them, so they didn't have to buy the food at the pulperia. So they could buy the same quality of that we had in the restaurant. They could buy it through La Asociación. The Asociación would charge them a percentage. And everything was, if they wanted to buy a TV, instead of going to Gojo and paying, they do a credit there. Said, you know what? Buy it through La Asociación and charge them a little bit, and we will support it behind it. I manage the payments. So instead of buying outside, buy it within and help each other. And when they needed loans, they will help each other. They had a meet the directiva, and they will not analyze each person's possibilities. I would take them out. You see this picture here. So every Mother's Day, we would go out and have fancy dress. I mean, we would take them to a nice restaurant. They never had the opportunity to go. Some of the ladies here, I want to see this, not maybe this one here, Marta here. The first thing she said, I want to smile again. And for me, it was an amazing. I said, how come you don't smile? I said, no, I don't have teeth. I want to smile. So we had, I work with a dentist office, dentist office near Antojito. and we would exchange. I would pay her with our lunches and antojitos, and we would pay, Antojito would pay half, and the Asociación would pay for the other half. Most of the girls had their mouth clean and change, and everybody was smiling with this nice. Well, then they didn't have the opportunity to do it before, and there was an easy way to do it. I'm a little ashamed to say that I had a lot of benefits for the female staff, which I had none for the male staff. And it was okay. I think they had 40 years of that before without me. And what else? Oh, we did had a lot of training. We would hire people with disability, and especially women over 40, I would hire, or females who were mothers, young mothers, or women over 40 or had a disability. We even had one of the programs that I loved, but not very openly about it. We had a person who was in jail. She was out of jail and had no possibility to get a job. So we would let them have a job for 6 months, and we would pay. In order for them to come out of the jail, they had to have a job and a place to live. So we would pay for the first month of the rent, which they pay me, right? So we would pay it in advance, so the people who had the apartment will let them be there, and we would give them a job. And we did it every 6 months. It was a compromise, not a compromise, a commitment of 6 months for them to have their curriculum.
I think your bandwidth's a little,
Have other ladies have the opportunity.
sorry, can you say the last
Perdón?
bit again? We lost you for a minute with your
Okay.
bandwidth.
I said that it's 6 months after they had to leave. I did not want them to leave because we all fell in love with each other. It was a nice environment, but then we need to have the opportunity to other persons to come out. It's to do. No, I still very good friends with them. Another thing that was a little gender bias is my connection is, can you hear me?
Right now, yes, it does go a
Yeah,
little bit
okay.
in and out.
So when I started in Antojitos, everything was bought by huge companies, Belka and Maika and all the big providers. And I said, one by one, I changed, and I got to have 92 small businesses who will provide from guanábana to lettuce to meat, from chickens, eggs, and I would only buy to female owners. Or the other option was that it had to be a male owner, but it had to have a person with a disability in the family. Otherwise, it had to be women-owned or women-operated. And most of the products I bought was to try organic or sustainable product. It was really hard to get organic certified products because it's hard, it's expensive to be organic certified in the study. So what I would do, I would go to the farms and verify it, or go to the companies and verify whether the practices in order to work with me. A lot of people in 2013 were not formal. So I wanted to be formal. I wanted to pay taxes and be good to society. So fun, but I was buying from people who weren't. And I said, you know what, it can't be that. So we established like a trade, or I don't know how to call it, but so we will help every single my business providers, suppliers, so come into formality, and we would do like a trade. I have it somewhere here. Yeah, it's like a trade program where the lady from the eggs would pay me and the accounting lady and the advisor for Hacienda with eggs. And with if they didn't have the money, I will pay for the service, and they will pay me with the eggs for the month. And we all exchange. And I established within all of us, like the lady from the eggs will sell eggs to the lady from the lettuce, and from the guanábana, and the lady from guanábana will give us, we all share, we all value our products, and we will exchange the service. But everybody had to be formal because I believe in formality and we had to all have the same. It was hard for them, it was heartbreaking to see them try to struggle to find a way and make this happen and they didn't have a clue. They didn't have a computer. How are they going to do every month impuesto ventas if they had no clue how to do it? So they would come to my office. I would sit down with every one of them to help them out how to do it. It can happen. Even they thought we would sell the products to my workers too. So I would take my girls, not my girls, these cocineras and my woman working with me to every single provider so they could see how things were made, how things were grown, and so they can understand the struggle that they were having to, so they can understand, look, when once the lettuce was dirtier than other times, and they were mad because it was so dirty. They will come.
Okay, we lost you there for a minute, Muni. I heard about the lettuce.
There so they could understand and see in a restaurant so they could understand the frustration of being in a restaurant. So it was I also was advocating for opinions and I was always fighting for justice in the government that is blind to our needs. And I was the president of CACORE, then I was on the board of tourism at Canatur, and also on the board of UCAEP. When I got into UCAEP, there were only male, 2 women, but in the board, there was only men. I said, you know what? Just on a program, but you know what? That cannot be. This cannot happen. And by February, there were 2 women on the board of UCAEP. It hasn't changed. So I'm happy to be part of things that change. I'm also the president of COLAC, and I'm the member of 5C, that's the Consejo Consultivo de Cambio Climático. The COLAC is the local protection for the mountains there in Tres Rios. We were the first country, first business to accept e-coins in the country. So people would recycle and get points or get e-coins in their wallet, electronic wallet, and they could come to my restaurant and pay. We were the first one in the world to do that. And this is my favorite program. We would have a program where we invite 120 abandoned ladies from older than 65. I don't know how to say the word in English. And they will come and we will share, we'll close the restaurant and give them Mother's Day lunch or breakfast and Christmas. It was a program that I'd share with my clients. People would pay 1,000 colones additional for the bill. They will be part of this program. We will buy clothes and we were giving food. At the beginning, we pay for everything, and then slowly, all the people who work in my restaurant donated their time, and a lot of clients from the restaurant will donate their time or their money, or they'll pay for the music or the new clothes or their clothes. Or it was an amazing thing. 120 babies that would come and enjoy twice a year in the restaurant. So I love that program. Well, COVID came. So what can I say? I don't think they should go too much into this. But well, we had to make tough decisions. March 21st, we closed the restaurant temporary. We thought it was going to be temporary, March 21st, 2020. So we helped support our staff as much as we could. So first week, we would send them home, we'd pay them vacation. We got all the perishables from the restaurant. I thought we were going to be closed for 3 months. So we made a big party in the restaurant and we ate everything that we could, that it was going to be spoiled if we didn't take care of it. And then the rest, everybody, we all share everything and we divided equal parts and everybody took home whatever is going to be perishable in the restaurant. And we thought it was going to be closed for 3 months. At the beginning, everybody thought the same, right? So we gave them the first time we send everyone on vacation, and then things continue. And so the first month we were able to pay them half a salary. The second month in April, May, also half a salary. Then June came and said, you know what, it's not going to happen. We are not going to be able to survive. My soul was broken. I had to talk to all the workers and we told them, I'm sorry, we're not going to continue. We're going to close and we're going to try to sell the restaurant. So it was sad. We all cry a lot right now again. So I'm going to go fast here. Had some money and we decided not to be irresponsible. We didn't need to be responsible. We need to be responsible for people who've been working with us for so long. So pay them all the cesantías. I don't know the word in English. But we had a lot of food in the restaurant and a lot of beer that was still in the bar. So and this is 3 months later, right? And I call everybody, they come and help me clean, divide everything that's in storage, and drink all the beer that we have in the bar. And every single worker came for free to help me clean the restaurant in order to sell. So we did that. It was hard for a lot of them. They had no food. 3 months with only half of the salary. So thanks to the help of other businesses like FIFCO gave them diario, and also Gente Ayudando Gente from Mucaet, we gave them each one of them a diario. It was like a month supply of food. Then June this year, we sold. That's it. Finito. Una etapa terminada. It's sad, but I was so grateful for all the amazing time I had there. I was 11 when I started going to Antojitos and focusing on the sad of the situation. I said, you know what? I must be grateful for everything I did. I fell in love in Antojitos. I had my heart broken in Antojitos, not only because I had to close it, but I was in love 100 times when I was growing up. I had amazing food and met a lot of great people, and Antojitos gave that to me, and I'm grateful for being there and having enjoyed it and having the opportunity to help others. So it was sold and it was done. Now it's time for a new beginning. So, huge question, what to do next? I'm still there, and I want to use my voice. I know I have the genes to do it, the power to do it. I just don't know how. I want to do so many things. I want to power other women to do the good thing, to share and to have a sorority and to use a positive change. I want to help other businesses to understand the process of going to the state, going to the government, and to understand the municipalidades, and to Ministerio de Hacienda y la Caja, and everything, to understand and have these amazing ideas. And you're so innovative, but you also need to be legal and to understand the process. And so it's not a painful thing, so people won't be disappointed. They could grow and, and be creative and do things. And sometimes those horrible procedures and boring things you have to do for a state are a drain of energy. So I want to do like an ABC thing so people will understand, or maybe, I don't know. I want to reinvent myself, but I want to do it female energy. I'm sick and tired of being around men who, I'm sorry, I saw there's a man here. I'm sorry. But you know what? I think that women share, just being around female, is always sharing all this energy, and you grow with this energy, and it's an amazing, that's why I miss the tinko thingy, not only for the food, but the sharing is amazing. Come out in all the energy, everybody gives energy, and it's amazing. And when you're in a business, still in a meetings with men, you tend to sequestrar your energy. I've done it a lot of times. I want to do business with women, and I want to grow with women. I want to share and be bright around them. I want to learn and learn and learn. I want to learn everything I can about empowering. I'm very ignorant about it. And I want to learn a lot so I can share. I have all this thinking in me, but I have little knowledge and I want to. And I want to make money too. I'm not ashamed of it. It's part of being independent and it's good. Good to be. I didn't have that there at the beginning, but you know what? I do want to. I want to share and help others, but I want to make money too and be proud of it. And not be ashamed that it's a thing, an important thing. So I want to thank all the women in my life. My grandmother was an amazing person. She shared so much. She was always surrounded and she shaped the country I am. And we all live in this society because she had the vision to shape a society where we could be safer. It's not the same in other parts of this area. We are privileged to be here. She was the person who did this. And we all took advantage of it and made it a better place. It evolved around us. She gave it the power to do. Thankful my mother. She has a way of seeing life in a beautiful way, simple and transparent. And she would never judge anybody. I'm proud of her a lot. And there are my aunts, Muni, Alda, and Cristiana, which are also very powerful women. And I'm humbled to be in there sharing their blood, but I'm super, super happy to be part of this family who is here to change and shape things. That's it. Did I talk for an hour?
You did. That was fantastic.
So let me, I can't remember how to do it, okay?
Thank you, Muni. It was inspirational and we appreciate everything that you shared with us. We know that your next steps will be amazing and you will find exactly the role that's next for you. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I actually want, on behalf of the PWNCR, I have a couple door prizes to give away. So let's do those before we're done. Let's see, we have, what else did we want to do? So we've got 1 year membership to the PWNCR starting in January 2020, well, be through January, through all of the year of 2022. And we have original art from James Thesaulus, who is a friend of the PWNCR and an amazing artist. So let me see, let me take my name out. All right, I've got a little.
Take mine. I want a baby part.
You're in. Look, I've got Kathy Rothschild.
Okay.
She is the winner for 2022 membership. And sorry, I think that Pilar was correcting my pronunciation, which was totally fair. Let me read that. Jim Theologos. Thank you, Pilar. I appreciate it. Beautiful art. This is, let's see. I'm not looking, but I got to get one. All right. We have Laura Gamboa Herrera. So let me see if we have her on here. Laura, can you unmute if you are here? You do have to be present to win. So I'm gonna say I do see Kathy here, so I'm gonna ask her to unmute to claim her prize. And then if Laura doesn't.
Okay, I claim.
Okay, I don't think Laura's on here, so I'm going to pick another one. Da-da-da-da. Gabriella, do we have Gabriella Atanchan? Okay, this is a problem with, we got lots of registration, but not as many people show up, which is always the case and perfectly okay. One more. Ana Maria Rodriguez.
You have someone, Sarah Joy, you have someone waiting, it says connecting to audio, Sandra Facio? I don't know. I just see that.
Okay. Right. So Ana Maria Rodriguez, I don't see in the list of names. Oh, goodness. Well, guys, it's too complicated to try and pick everybody out.
Actually, Ana Maria is there.
Oh, good.
Ana Maria is I'm sorry, she's Ana Figueres, I think. Am I being
perfect.
that completely?
Ana Maria Figueres, and also listed as Rodriguez. Perfect. Okay, so we've got Ana Maria won some art. Let me just write that down, and Kathy, the membership. So thank you all. What I did want to definitely respect everyone's time. We are at time, but we've had some wonderful shares in the chat. What we can do is open up to a bit of a question and answer for anyone who would like to stay on.
I have a question. I think I'm a bit confused. Muni, were you ambassador of Costa Rica to the United States? No. Okay. Because I remember I was 17 when I was a Lincoln School student back then, and I remember going to the Costa Rican embassy in DC, and I met somebody called Muni Figueres as well. But
Yeah, my aunt.
Oh, your aunt. Oh, okay. I was wondering. Wow, she looks way younger than I remember. Okay.
And prettier.
And prettier.
No, she's beautiful too. So.
Oh, okay. I can share the picture if you want to, but I would need permission.
Yes, I believe that Muni, you got your name from your aunt. Do you mind sharing just a quick?
That's the picture. That's me. That's me in 2012. I was 7. Actually, I was 16.
See, that's the embassy.
That's me, and that's your aunt, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, that was 9 long years ago. Okay, that's it. Okay, thank you.
Always confusing.
Anyone else have a question they'd like to ask? Anything to clarify from Muni's story?
Hi, it's Natalie. And I met Muni.
Hola.
How are you, Muni? Weird to be speaking in English, right?
Yes, it is.
I met Muni years ago through her business, and I am so thrilled to see you here and wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for everything you've done. And you might not know how much you really impact other businesses when you were doing those breakfasts for people in need or elderly people. And all your explanation on your programs on a daily basis, working with you, really inspired me and my brothers. And we are now having programs similar than the ones you had, just because of your example.
Oh, nice.
And I wanted to share that. And I thought, Phyllis, you need to talk with this lady because she's amazing. And I wanted to take the opportunity to thank you publicly for being this inspirational and this amazing woman. And I'm just so happy to have met you and happy that now everyone else is listening to your story and learning from you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. That's very inspirational. And do I have it correct that you're a past president of the PWNCR? I haven't had a chance to meet you.
Yes, I was. Nice to meet you all. I've seen Sarah Baslow and Phyllis and others there, and I'm so thrilled also to see the PWN is still on, and we are able to keep inspiring other and empowering business through women leadership. So it's really good to see everything you're doing. And now that you are in this virtual stuff that the pandemic has left us, so it's good now that I can be part of it, because I normally not living in Costa Rica, but being part of it through Zoom is so good. Just feeling again part of the club.
Thank you, Natalie. I believe there's Helen, Helen Frame Dunn. Hello, Helen.
It's Helen Dunn Frame. I want to share with you, Muni, that when I first heard you were going to speak, I thought it was your aunt, because before I came to Costa Rica, I became friends with her and your grandmother. And I knew Henrietta, and I was at her 100th birthday party. So
Oh.
it's wonderful to see you're going in her footsteps.
Oh, I'm humbled to say that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're
What an
welcome.
amazing thing to say. Thank you.
We're so glad you made it, Helen. I wish it had been at Tin Ho like we talked about, but
Yes.
it'll be soon.
Well, when I tried to come on to the program, your link didn't work. So I used my link from the Democrats abroad to come into the program.
Yeah, sometimes it should be the same, but sometimes Zoom gets tricky. Let's see, is anyone else raising their hand? I'm not sure. Steve, hi.
Yes, I'd like to ask permission to share a short story about meeting Muni's grandfather.
Yes.
Yeah, I arrived in Costa Rica in 1968 as a Peace Corps volunteer, and I was sent to a little village way down near Paso Canoas on the Panamanian border. There was no running water, electricity. Everyone was riding around on horses. And of course, in 1970, Don Pepe was elected president. And I have always been fascinated with politics. And I had a subscription to La Nacion. It came in every day. A little plane landed in the jungle, came from San Jose. And I read it from cover to cover to learn about the country. I read the social page and the sports and everything, and to learn Spanish. And I was fascinated with Don Pepe. And to me, he was such an inspiration. I was kind of, at that point in my life, kind of shy and introverted, and he was everything that I wasn't. And he was very outspoken. About 60% of the country loved him. He was very polemic, and about 40% of the country hated him. There was nothing in between. And a school teacher arrived near the end of the school year in '69 from Heredia. And she was just a high school graduate, but she was filling in. And we fell in love. And we've been married for 51 years now, living in San Rafael de Heredia. At any rate, I found out that she also adored, she was a Pepista. And so we would hug and kiss and say, I love you. But we adore Pepe Figueres. And anyway, so I was going up, I had a little moped. I was going up to San Isidro. The Pan American Highway back then, south of San Isidro, was just a dirt road. And I read La Nacion that they were going to, that Don Pepe and Doña Karen were going to cut the ribbon for the first high school in Buenos Aires. So we went up and we got there to the soccer field in front of the high school. And because he was more than just president, he was a national hero. And everyone was kind of standing back. And so the two were just standing there by themselves. And I said, Maria, this is our chance. Let's go up and introduce ourselves. And she was like me, she was shy. And she said, oh, I couldn't do it. And I didn't get to meet him. She grabbed my arm and pulled me back, and I didn't get to meet him. But I did see him later. He spoke to a Peace Corps group at the Agricultural Institute in Cartago, and it was he spoke for a half hour in English, and then he spoke for a half hour in Spanish.
Yeah.
If I may comment about that, do you hear me?
Yes. Let's see, Michelle and then Flora. Sorry.
Just a short comment about what he said. I didn't know about that part in Buenos Aires. I've lived there from 81 to 87. And I know exactly when you're talking about the soccer field and the school and everything, but I didn't know he'd been there also. Of course, it was later. I still met Pepe Figueres sometimes, or we'd go once a month to San Jose and stay in the hotel. I'm still, at that time it was called Amstel, and he was always coming on Friday night to have a drink. Yeah. So.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
Flora, I would love to hear from you.
Yes, thank you. First, I wanted to introduce myself since this is my first time with the network. But I also wanted to make two observations. First, thank Muni, really fantastic. I've known a lot of your aunts. In fact, I grew up with Cristiana Figueres. We were in school together at Lincoln. So I would spend my sleepovers there at the Figueres house in Curridabat and have wonderful memories of your father and the whole family. And now I've had the chance to work with Muni, with the other Muni. Both we work together at the Inter-American Development Bank, and now I'm at the Cruza Foundation, and she's at Amigos for Costa Rica. So we have come together again, and she's an absolutely outstanding person. So, but the other thing I wanted to suggest, I know you're reinventing yourself, and I think I wanted to say, your family has had such an incredible history on the development of the welfare state here in Costa Rica. But it's time to reinvent ourselves. I think it's time to reinvent government. So I would invite you to help us, or to help Costa Rica think of that. And I also welcome you to Cruza. Come and talk to us. We're about to launch our new 5-year strategy. And, and we'd love to hear more. I mean, we're all about sustainability. So being able to share the experience that you've had would also be wonderful for us. So thank you very much. And I wanted to say hello to everybody and glad to be part of this network from now on.
Thank you, Flora. It's such a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. All right, I'd love to call on anybody else who has a hand raised, or if you want to make a comment or question. Kathy.
Yes, I just want to thank the Professional Women's Network, which I'm also a member of, but on behalf of Democrats Abroad, for opening this up so some of our members could join, and how much we enjoyed it. And I want to encourage any Democrats Abroad members who are not familiar with the Professional Women's Network to find out more and join. And also, I think we'll arrange with Sarah that we could send you an invitation to our meeting next week, where we're going to show a film called A Bold Peace, which certainly is about how the Army was disbanded and the whole history of that. And so if any of you are interested, we'll send you that. And just thank you again for allowing our members to join you today.
Wonderful.
And thank you very much, Muni, for a wonderful inspiring presentation.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, absolutely. We would love to have any new members from Democrats Abroad. While we are women-centered, we are not trying to exclude men. You're welcome to our events. You're welcome to share with us, become members if you'd like. And thank you, everybody. And we'd love to get those details about the film and share around. All right, so if anybody wants to unmute and do a round of applause. Thank you, Muni. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. And we'll have this recording shared on our Facebook. And if anybody wants to follow up, you can certainly email info@pwncr.com or check our Facebook and get in touch.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.